Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So this video is going to be the editing of Amy and James's engagement shoot of the Lake District. So let me just jump into Lightroom. So here you can sort of see as we're talking, you can have a little look. Now the last video out was obviously the behind the scenes. So it was a very windy day down on the jetty. Went up to Ashness Bridge and then surprise view. And we waited for the sunset, and we weren't going to get a full sunset, but we waited about 20-25 minutes. The sun eventually came through the clouds and we got something, which is great, and we'll see what we can do with those. Amy and James is probably going to watch these videos, so hi. Little insight into how things is done. So I have around 224 images to edit from the shoot. It would usually be a little bit less, I would imagine, but you know, I've left some in so I can make some black and whites rather than just delivering the colour. I mean, I am quite strict usually on my culling, so you can sort of see there's 4 shots here that are very similar, so I may take certain shots out depending on what facial expressions look like, but this is sort of our base that we're going to look at. As you can sort of see here, this is sort of went for a few silhouette shots, some more where I opened up and let more light in, looking for that bleed of light coming through, especially sort of like here where we're trying to catch the sun bleeding through the edges. So once it's warmed up, hopefully it'll look a lot more golden hour-y. So from the other editing videos, you know I would typically select everything, put the preset on, and then I would update my temperature and tint values here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do maybe 10 photos where it's per image, so you can sort of see the before shot, then the edit, and then what I might do is just edit the rest sort of how I would usually do it, where I'll do a bulk preset and then update the temperatures and tints, and then do the selective local adjustments on each photo. So let's just dive straight in, I suppose. So let's go straight into here. Develop. So get rid of that, and yeah, so obviously the first thing with this shot is I'm going to correct the crop. So I'm just going to pull this in a little bit. Honestly, it was so bloody windy. Just if you haven't seen the behind the scenes video from the last upload, go and have a watch, honestly. Right, so let's put the color on. So straight away, looks pretty decent already, but it's just obviously a little bit on the green side. So again, this is where I would come in and usually put a couple of temperatures on, a couple of tint, which adds the magentas and the warmth. So then if I jump back out, so 95% of the time with my images it works straight away. I feel like maybe there's added a bit too much magenta here, so I'm just going to pull that back. It would help if I opened my power keys. Give me a second. So I'm just launching power keys now, so I can actually see what I'm doing. Right, so let's try that again. Magentas. Yeah, there we go. It's pulling it out now. Bit more warmth. Let's pull the exposure down. Just going to pull this in a tiny bit more. So again, if if Amy and James is watching this, you'll see I'm quite picky on having things correct. Lovely. So this is sort of before. It's quite blue and cold, and then my preset, which slightly warms it up. If everyone doesn't mind, if you haven't seen these videos before, I do tend to turn the lights out just so I can see the colours a bit better. So, bye. There we go. Right, much better. You can still sort of see me, but I just need to be able to see it better. So, before and after. Right, moving on. So, because we're in the exact same scene, I can just press paste previous, and that'll give us the same crop, same color settings, everything. So I'm just going to reset that crop, Option Command R on the keyboard, and then I'll just redo the crop. Actually, I think it's fine how it is. Actually, I shot that pretty bang on in camera. Okay guys, so we've just finished up all of the editing there. So this was the last sort of set of that sequence. So you can see we've done a fair bit there. Let's have a quick look. What have we got? How many images? 168. So there's a fair old whack. So what I'll do is let's give you a quick look at the little sequences. So let's do all of the jetty. I think pretty much that was the entire jetty. So really nice sequence of shots. Again, if you haven't seen the BTS video, that's on the channel. Yeah, just lush. So next set was up on not surprise view, Ashness Bridge. So sort of up to about here. So that's the set from the bridge. So really nice again. And then up onto surprise view. So if we come down to here, through to here. And then the next section is the sunset stuff or golden hour stuff, which we're going to edit live again. So this is the set from surprise view while we waited for the golden hour. So again, it's just a really nice gallery already, like a lot of variation in terms of like a black and white and a color and just different. I just love it. Just such a nice gallery. So let's dive in to doing the golden hour shots. So if I disable the color codes grid, let me just make these purple. We'll get rid of them. There we go. So we've got 54 photos from the golden hour. So what I'm going to do is going to give you a quick look at each photograph, and then we'll do the edit. So going for more of a silhouette shot, trying to get the balance. The problem with surprise view, obviously we've got the golden hour, which is obviously back here, trying to break through clouds. So the couple's always going to be on the shadow side. So we'll have to do a subject pop on pretty much every shot just to lift them up a little bit. And then we might also add a gradient from the bottom just to give a bit more light, so it doesn't look like we've just like popped the subjects, which is what we are doing basically. So if I show you a little sequence, so we're literally waiting for the clouds to open, if you see on the BTS, and I'm looking for that rim of light around the hair. So it's getting better and better. And then what I'll try to do is look for it bleeding through. So I've tried to expose as a balance on all these shots. Obviously, it's quite easy if I just throw the exposure up here. So if I expose for them, the entire sky goes, which is fine. It'd probably look all right, to be fair. And we might end up editing in such a way. But if we can retain it, fair enough. And obviously, we still didn't. Oh, let me do it. We didn't want to go back the other way and just expose for the sky and have them like super dark. So it's just trying to find that balance, which is hopefully where I got to. So if I just reset that, because if I get the balance, I can then sort of go any way I want within reason. So start to see we're getting that nice golden light, the rim on the body, on the hair, and that's what sells the golden hour. If we warm it up, you can sort of see the golden color coming onto Amy's leg, obviously down the hair. So I'll just quickly push through them and you can sort of see what we've got. So especially here, I'm trying to let the bleed wrap around his face and create these lines, which instantly gives that sun flare look. Again, like this is just before we left really, and it opened right up. As you can see, we've got the nice directional shadows on the floor, which is what we want. So yeah, we'll just have a play with the edits in a minute. So I did a few shots where I just opened it up a bit more. The sun's still sort of coming in from the top right here. And And then we went to the opposite side, did a few silhouettes, and then went back to balance. I mean, looking for that light bleed. So putting the subject on the edge of the sun and letting it bleed and wrap around him, and once I warm that up, it should look really cool. So we're nearly there. A few sitting shots to finish. Again, let it bleed through. And that's it. And do you know what? They don't even look too bad straight out of the camera, do they? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select them all. We'll put our preset on, which is what we usually do. So I'm just going to go color, and I'm just going to bring up one of the ones that's a bit more balanced, and then jump back out. So I'm going to add probably 3 temperatures, 2 lots of magenta tint, and then a large magenta tint, and then let's see where we are. So I feel like it's a bit too magenta, so I'm just going to pull it back 1, and then what I'm going to do on every single photo is I'm just going to come over and do a subject mask, and it's going to be quite a heavy subject pop, so it's lifting it up by 0.6. Usually I don't go above 0.5. Most of my subject pops are 0.3, but they're very deep in shadow on this side, so I'm just going to lift that to 0.6. Usually anything over 0.5 your eye can sometimes detect, but we'll play with it and make it work. So let's just see where we're at. And it was golden hour, but obviously this time of year the light is still quite cool, so, and we don't have all of the color because obviously the cloud was creating like a funnel of light, but typically for a golden hour shot to sell it as golden hour, the light has to sit on something. That's why the majority of the photo is more this rather than sky. We want the light should hit all of the ground and make the ground look very golden and orange, so I don't think we'll get a full-on golden hour shot like I did for like Zeynep and Jacob at Beamish Hall, where everything was bright orange and looked lush, but this will still look like golden hour, so let's just work with it. So let's go at the first shot. So this was obviously intentionally shot darker. I'm just going to pull it in a tiny bit, get rid of that branch at the top, and then I'm going to see if I can just clone out this bit of branch here. Just a little bit distracting. I don't mind the one on the other side because it's quite large, but this one, because it's quite small, it's just a little bit distracting. So that's not bad, is it? Not bad at all. There we go, get rid of that. Bob's your uncle. All right, let's brighten it up a tad. So it's a little on the green side. I'm going to turn the lights off again so I can actually see what I'm doing. So let's have a little play with the magenta slider. Probably about where it was, to be honest. It just looked a bit green when I had them lights smashing me in the face. So a little bit more of a dramatic-y type shot, but you're always sort of going to get that if you're like exposing for what's behind them. If I obviously brought it all the way up to there, you can sort of see the sky just goes completely white. So let's just bring it to a balance point where it's still creating that mood. I think I'll crop in a bit more just so it's a bit more rule of 30. Right, let's move it in the next shot. Again, if they look a bit blurry, it's only because the SSD drive's not plugged in. So let's pull this down. Again, I don't want too much sky. It's more about them. And what I'm going to do is add a second radial burn here, and just to lift that section and then pull the rest of it back down. So that was before and that's after. So not quite golden houry, but and starting to do that thing that I don't really like where it's got like the dark edge at the top. So I'm going to bring it down a bit more, and then if I need to, I think I'll get away with that. Sometimes what I'll do is just brighten that area up. So let's go to the next image. I'm going to paste previous just because we've done sort of the work anyway, so we might as well just use it. So about there. So again, before, very in shade and blue, and we've warmed it up. We've got such a nice image. Again, it'll obviously get more intense as it goes on because the light changed at various points throughout the shoot. Nice. And then I'll probably do this one in black and white because it's very similar to the last shot. Again, sort of similar-ish. So I would have probably culled these down a bit more, to be fair. I mean, that one's quite nice. And then this one, it's nice, but it's very similar to this one. But obviously, Amy's looking more at James. So let's just open this up. Again, trick is to not have too much sky. You want the colour sat on the ground and on them. So, and that's what sells it. You can sort of see the rays of light coming in. So, you know, it works. Same thing. Let's go black and white on this one. Cute. I've got two dancing shots, so I'm going to go straight away black and white. Just pull that down. And then I'm going to just take over this settings from this photo onto this one. And lush. So let's pull that over a bit. Cute. If we can, I'm going to show you my flare pack here. Don't ask us where I got it from because I can't remember. LLFX. Search that on Google. So basically, if I think it's the Leica 5A I like to use. This one here. 5B as well, so it's the position of it. So the sun is coming from the left, so I would typically press that, and then the way these work is you can actually move them around. So if I just put it down here, so you can sort of see the shape of it, and then you'd literally just put that where the sun actually was, and then we've got like this little lens flare effect which you can put on your image, and then the colours don't quite work with these at the minute, so you can actually just change the colour here. So you can sort of see the highlight down here, it's sort of changing colour a bit. So if we just move it towards the darker oranges maybe, and then if we try the sunburst at the top again, if you wanted to, you can just cool it off. You can sort of see it's changing colour, it's more on the blues there. It's a little bit hard to see, but I just find if you keep it in the red and oranges, it sort of works. Now you've got to be careful when you're adding flares because it can just get overdone, but I think for these shots they probably don't need them. So again, you just sort of got to limit yourself, so to speak. So next image. So that was a little look at the flares anyway, if you wanted to have a look at that flare pack. Again, there's quite a lot of sky in this one. I should have shot it a bit better really. So again, a bit more of a hazy effect. Probably look cool in black and white. Again, I might just do these two in black and white to look rather cool. Again, I tend to have, I'll pull it out like this, and then if I create a radial burn, I have a preset called Sun Flare. So you can bang these settings in if you want, and then I can do a really big sun flare from the side like that, just to accentuate it if need be. So if I turn that on and off, so it just accentuates it, so you can just pull the exposure back, so it looks quite cool. If I put it on dark grey, you can sort of see. So you can do things like that as well, which always works quite cool. Next image. Okay, again, let's just take this setting over to here. Nice. Okay, let's pull this down. Let's pull it down again. Next image. So we're getting there. As you can see, once we've done one, we can sort of just paste them across. We could just check everything on that image, to be fair, and then could just paste them right through, and it would give us sort of everything I need. Paste, replace. So we'll let that do its thing and I'll come back. Okay, let's carry on, guys. So all that's pasted across, so let's just continue sorting these images out. Again, do you know what? James's face isn't the best. I like Amy's position, but I'm just going to take that one out because we've got 3 or 4 more, so it's not like they're losing anything. So let's go back to here. Nice. Again, sort of before and after. Lovely. Let's pull that over. So it's more just straightening and making things look right now. So fixing exposures. We've got the colour on, and we've got our pop. So if I turn that pop off as well, you see what I mean about them being in the shadow. So it's quite different. Okay, it's a nice one. I like that. I might give this one a black and white. I'm not too keen on the composition. It's sort of shooting up on them, which I don't do too much of now, but I'll deliver it. Nice, some close-ups, trying to get that light to wrap around. Again, a lot of people might have shot this sort of like so they were fully exposed, but I want to create that mood and atmosphere, which is nice. Okay, next image. Same exact thing as the last one. So one of them's going to be a black and white, so it's just deciding which one. I think I'll do this one. Yep, nice. It's cute. Again, let's just bring that down. So again, it's more on the moody silhouette side of things. Don't always have to be blowing everything up, you know. Just loses all the mood and impact for me. Let's go to the next one. Just apply the same settings. So about there, I would say. Again, their faces are a bit skew on that. I'm going to get rid because I know there's another couple. So let's go black and white. And then with black and white, I don't mind lifting the exposure as much as the colour, because it bleeds through. And the black and white, you're not dealing with the colour, and sometimes the colour can look a bit mucky, if that's a word. And then last one, we'll sort of just replicate what we did before. Nice. Let's just bring that up to here. So we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. Getting there. So it's also started bleeding through quite a bit now. So let's get rid of that at the corner. What's that on Amy's forehead? It's obviously a bit of light bouncing off something, or it's a bit of light reflection on my lens. Either way, I'm not too keen on it, so it's gonna go. Much better. Alright, we can sort of see now the difference. Once the sky opened up and the light hit the ground, we're starting to get that golden hour look, whereas before, when it wasn't there, it just looks darker. So that's the difference in, like, you want the sun out. You can fake it to a degree, but you get a much more natural color once it actually does come out properly. So before, after. Again, I feel like, can I still see some of that on her head? Nice. Okay, so same image. So let's just reposition the crop. Again, I think I'll just leave that this time. I would usually take it out. Is it too distracting? It does look very distracting, you know. Let's have a look. Okay, much better. Feel like bag of chips off RuPaul. Much better. Right, let's carry on. So they are on the more dramatic side, these. Obviously just because of how dark it is on their side. I mean, you can see James nearing darkness there. So let's just keep working it. See if we can get rid of this stick or branch. Cool. Let's reset the crop on that and just pull it down. Same thing on this one. Again, just pull it back a bit more. So you can sort of see where the sun's coming from now. If I show you that autumn flare, the sun flares again, you can sort of see it now because it's on a colour. So I just need to zoom out and then reposition the flare. I'm not going to use it, I'm just showing you. Peach. So then you can just put it here and you can just let it bleed onto the subjects a little bit more. So if I go to fit, so if I turn that on and off, see how it just bleeds onto them a little bit. I'm actually going to leave it on, I think it looks quite cool. And just pull that back a little bit. Again, let's just paste previous. I'll just do a few of these in black and white. That's nice. Let's go black and white on this one. Cute. Just gonna lift it up a little bit. Again, let's just paste previous. And then I'm going to grab the colour and just replicate it back onto this one. Nice. So let's just have a look at that tiny little sequence there. I haven't even edited this one, it's just snuck its way in there. I'll get rid of it. So, nice little sequence. Yeah, let's carry on. So this one looks pretty cool. Let's have a look. So obviously there, I don't mind it being this dark. I'm going to lift it up a tiny bit. And then I know it's got the pop on the subjects, so I might take that. What does it look like? Yeah, I might take it off them. So I don't mind them being, I don't mind that little bit of detail come through, so I'm going to leave it like that. But I like it as is. That's quite a nice shot. Pull the magentas out a little bit. So this one might work quite well with a flare. So it's just finding the right one. So I'm going to go. I tend not to use these too much, like the accent bits. So I'm going to get rid of that. But I will use like the flare bit, the actual sun bit. So obviously it doesn't work too good there. So you'd have to apply it more up here. But again, I just feel like this one's not working too well. And we needed the colour to hit the bottom here as well. It just hadn't opened up enough in the clouds. So I'm going to stick with how it was. So these ones have sort of got the preset on from before. So we just need to recorrect one of them, and then we'll paste it across. So if I pull that down to about there, so before and after. So it's quite nice that you sort of got the glow on their legs. And then let's just do once more. This one needs to come up a bit. And then probably just going to add a bit of dodge from this side. So before and after. Don't know why it's not shown as the before crop, but it's fine. Okay, next one. Just lift it a bit more. Again, before, very, very blue, and after. Again, there's not much we can do in terms of like, if I brighten it right up and try and go too like sunsetty, looks fine on the rocks, but it looks awful up here. So it's just finding that balance between the colors. So let's go on this one. Yeah, we've got two images very similar there. So let's do this one as a black and white. Which looks cool. And then that one, lovely. And then I'm liking this with the bleed. It's very nice. This bit of wet here is a bit annoying, so I'm going to get rid. Just straight away, loads better. Again, it might look a bit like grainy and not in focus, but I guarantee you it is. It's just because the drive's not plugged in. It's nice. It's getting a star rating. I like it. Just going to pull some of the magentas out. Lift it up a tiny bit more. Okay, next image. Reset that. Just paste those across, and I'll have to reset the healing brush as well. Now we just need to pull it back to about there. Again, sort of before and after. Haven't retained the highlights too much on this one when trying to get that balance, and that's why it's a little bit more white in places, but cameras only have so much dynamic range. Again, very moody, I would say, these. So that one I liked before, so let me have a look at both. Which one do I like the best? Because I know I wanted one of them in black and white, and I think it's going to be this one. Yeah, I just love the mood of that. Super nice. Let's get rid of this wet patch. Done a pretty rubbish job on that one. So let me draw a new selection area. Much better. And then I'm just going to do one more just to get rid of that repeating pattern there. Actually, do a couple more. Might as well. Just blend it in a bit better. There we go. You never know. Right. Love that. Love the mood. Oh, lovely. One of my favourite images of the set. That nice. Right. Let's go for the colour variant. So this is somehow ended up on the too warm side. So let's bring this way back. So probably about there. Let's pull up the magentas until we start they disappear and then they come back around there. And again, just need to try and get rid of this wet patch. Nice. Right, let's move on. Reset that. Crop it in. So again, we're sort of shooting from sort of low, so that kind of get the water in on these ones to make it look like they're on top of a mountain. which, I mean, they were, so it's not like I'm lying. Probably about there. Let's just pull the magentas to about there. Just pull that right down. Cool. Right, so we're on this little sequence here where they're all sat on the rocks. So we've only got about 7, 8, 9 images left. So let's just bring this up to here. So again, before and after, so they are slightly too bright. So this is where it's a bit too much. So I'm just going to back it off. And now what I'm going to do is do the subtract, because I don't want the light really on the shoes and everything. To make it blend a little bit more naturally, just take it off the bottom of them. And then we get that lush image there. I'm going to just take away some magenta and a little bit of taking away the golden. And that's lush. Get that rated 2-star. Bosh. Right, same exact image. So paste previous. I'm going to reset the crop out and then just reset the crop to where I want it. And then I'm just going to add a black and white. Oh, bada bing, bada boom. Love it. Right, next image. Again, they're all a bit similar, aren't they? Why have I not colored these? Just because of the way the light's bleeding through. So usually I would color a bit more, but I guess I'm just leaving them in, and then the couple can sort of choose which one they like the best, really. Again, cool. I'm going to take these stars off that one, and then I'll pick at the end which one I like the best with the bleed of light coming through. So obviously this one's coming through quite a bit, and sometimes when it bleeds through quite a lot like that, it works really well in black and white. And then just pull it down just to bring back some of that dehaze. Again, very similar image, but sort of give this one in color. You can see some actual artifacting from the lens here as well. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. Now I'm going to pull this one really far down so it looks a little bit more different to the others. And then let's do one more. So same thing, but this one will be black and white. Oh, I don't know, I quite like the mood of that. Ooh, that is nice. I'm going to do the other one in black and white because they're a little bit further pulled away. Again, pull that down, and then oh, that's getting a star rating. Oh, lush. Right, next one. Okay, let's just pull this down, pull a bit of magenta, pull a bit of oranges out. Lovely. And then we're nearly there. We're nearly there, people. Again, I'll just take that first image, let's paste it onto this one, and then try not to chop the feet off, which I have a little bit on James, which is super annoying. But we're in quite a rush trying to get this. The sun was only peeping through the clouds at like seconds at a time, and then the final image is there. So for this one I might just pull this over a little bit, and again just pull it back, pull the magentas, and then just pull a little bit of that warmth off of them. And then we end up with, so we sort of do this sort of sequence. Let's have a look. I'll just take out the black and whites for now, as much as I love that one. So there's your sort of colourless versions. Get rid of that one, get rid of that one, and that one, and then just figuring out which one. I just love that one. Oh, lovely. And then I like that one. This one's super cute. Oh, so much goodness. So that there, my friends, is basically the edit of the sunset shoot. Pretty nice. But if you like the BTS video and this full editing video, please just hit like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo.